Good morning, everybody. What is going on? AJ, the CEO here. Thank you so much for joining me on our typical Friday Q&A session. Now, I'm doing something a little bit different with my audio today. So, I'm looking at the comments to let me know how everything's going. Let me unmute real quick. All right, that sounds fine. Let me know how everything sounds because as of right now, I am running everything through the X32 rack mount that I've had on the floor here for quite a while. So we're playing around with that. So please let me know how that sounds to y'all. Thank you so much for joining, folks. Hopefully we got all the bugs and everything knocked out from last time that we had. But if you don't mind, do me a big favor. Go ahead and hit that like button. The only way you can leave comments on these live streams is to be a subscriber for at least 20 minutes. That helps get all these other spam bots and all this other stuff out of the way on the live, even though they come after the fact, which is still annoying. But go ahead and share this as well too. So I really appreciate y'all being here. If I don't get to your question, you know you can email me at questions@ajayhomes.com. Give us 48 to 72 hours to get back in touch with you. What else? What else we got? Yeah, if you haven't joined the Facebook group, I think you should. It's right here, and I need to update this. That name has since, well, I think that link still works, but we've changed the link to the Facebook group. I think the Facebook group now, we got enough people, and the group name actually is, let me take that down. Yeah, the group name is actually 4 M's and an E. That's what it is now. So if I bring this over here real quick, and let's go to that. Yeah, so the group now is right there. It's facebook.com/group/MMMME. Hopefully that will be easier for people to find. You can still always just look up Modern Media Ministry Made Easy, and that will get you to the group as well too. But I highly recommend that you go ahead and check that out. And I'm going to jump ahead on a few things because I put a poll last week and announced some stuff last week, and hopefully y'all got this. It has been official. We put a poll out, and our second annual E-Missionary Conference is going to be October 22nd of this year. So be on the lookout. More information. We're working with a couple of people to put some graphics so that you can share that with your ministry. We're going to have some more information. We got some teachers working with that. If I know Monty, he has something going on. Hopefully, Monty, maybe you can pre-record something because we're going to do this a little bit different. Last year, we had some issues with people missing sessions because we had multiple sessions going on at the same time. We're learning and adjusting, folks. So this time, it's going to be a one-day live stream from beginning to the end. And then if you miss it, we're going to still going to be a ticket to it so that we can compensate for the stuff it takes to do this stuff. The tickets is going to be $50 to get inside of there. We're working with a developer on the website, and that will allow you to get access to everything. Now, the difference with this is instead of waiting a year, a month to 2 months after the conference is over, all of those videos are going to be divvied up and then put on the channel so you can see each session. All right. That's the plan. That's what we got going on. Hopefully I got that out of the way. So now let's go ahead and holler at some folks out here. Shannon Hallen, hello, hello. Thanks for joining. Mousy, hello, hello. Mr. Dunlap, hello, hello. How are you doing? Parker, hello. Thank you for joining. Lanny, good morning, good morning. Darius, hello, hello. Jaden, hello, hello. Same name as my nephew whose birthday was yesterday. Anthony, what's going on, sir? Mitch Roy, hello, hello. Mr. John Cook, good morning all. Please pray for my AV team. They will be alone this weekend for our services. I have to stay home. Hopefully my training has paid off. Guess what? I'm in the same situation. Signs and wonders. I am not going to be there, and they have to run everything. I'm going to put everything in place as best as I can remotely, but it's them. Me and the little one are going to be at Spotlight Deliverance this weekend. We're leaving tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. to go help and get their new cameras and their media booth and sound system installed, and then hopefully me and the daughter can go play at Sesame Place, because she is so excited about her and Daddy riding a roller coaster and getting in the water park. So excited about that. Reverend Richard Jacobs, hello, good morning. I was going to leave this comment. Good morning times 10. So my thing is it Kaioken times 10? Y'all, the people who know DBZ know what I'm talking about. Simon, good afternoon. Simon, where you chiming in from? Pete Andrews, hello. Mike with Mjolnir, who's watching out for y'all if y'all cut up. Hey, good morning, Mike. Francisco, what's going on? Francisco, how's the sleep going? Monty, what's up, man? If y'all, like, I got to give him a shout out, man. If y'all want to learn about the business side of how you can make some of an income in affiliate marketing and get brand deals, Monty is the man. I mean, he's dropping a lot of knowledge for y'all. So if anybody else wants to have a little side hustle and bring some extra income in, hit that man up. Lamorris, thank you, sir. Thank you. And good morning to you. Pastor Henry Wilson, hey, good morning. Hope you're doing well. That is page 2. Mr. Clarence, hello. Sandra Wilson, hello. Good morning. Norm, what is going on? Keith, hello. Thank you for joining. Pastor Gary, we've been doing some work over there with Pastor Gary. Hopefully everything's working out there, sir. Let me know. Hope the computer is doing well with you. Miss Veronica, hello. Thank you for joining. And I got a couple of questions, but let me go ahead and... Sorry, I'm not going to be able to bring y'all up, but I just want to give a big shout out to, you know who I am. Hello, Rodney. Hello. Negril 7-Day Adventist. Man, I want to go to Negril so bad. Are you actually in Negril, Jamaica? I want to go there. Streets of Destiny. What's up, Streets of Destiny? I have a video for you. It didn't come out right, but we're going to do it live, and then I'm going to re-record the video. Hopefully that will answer your question. Rhonda, what's up? Let's see. Ray L., what's going on from Las Vegas? Hey, folks. So, again, thank you so much for joining. Let's go ahead and knock out some questions for y'all. And actually, let me give a little bit of time for the questions first. And I want to do something that I know I promised, and I haven't had a chance to do it. I actually did it yesterday, but it didn't come out the way I wanted to. And you're going to have to check the video so you can actually hear the results. But what we did is we set up a audience mic, and I have the video of it, but like I said, it didn't come out the way I wanted to, so I'm gonna re-record it. But I'm gonna show you a high level of what we're doing. So I have this mic. This is actually for an instrument mic. This is a Rode M5, and there's 2 of them. 2 of these mics. But the idea is, let's go ahead and cut over. Now I am using an X32, but this can be done with any type of board that has aux outs that you can make for a different stream. All right, so let's make this a little bit bigger so we can see the text. All right, so I only have 16 channels on here, so you can see that we're rolling all our audio through here. So we're gonna connect this right now, which is hooked up to crowd mic number 1, as you can see. Hello. Yeah, so the idea is right now, as you can see right now, this is my main. What y'all are hearing are my mains right now. And this would be like if you're inside the sanctuary, whatever. So I have a shotgun mic. That's what this is representing right now. That's in the balcony at Signs and Wonders, and it's aimed directly in the center of the crowd. It's now I do need to make some adjustments. I'm kind of limited of what I've got in space, but what I have is I have my separate live stream mix here. So right now the fader is all the way down, so that's why you're not hearing me talking into this right now. You see the activity, but nothing is happening. On my live stream mix though, I have this channel. I have two mics when I was doing the video. This is up just for the live stream, and this is something that I would monitor so that you could hear people talking. In the sanctuary, you can hear them responding if the pastor or somebody's doing something, just praise reports, or kind of like what we did in Bible study. So let me see if I can set this up so you can actually hear it. And I'm giving you a quick cut of what the video is going to look out. And I mean, this is a really short version of what this video is. And where's it at? That was yesterday. All right. So here's the video from Bible study. And am I unmuted? All right, I am unmuted. So I'm gonna skip forward some.
I'm being fixed continuously.
Let me get one. Now hopefully y'all can hear that. I'll like I said, be on the lookout for it. But again, what I have is the mic is all the way in the back looking down on them, and then I'm turning up the gain not too much so that it doesn't affect the speakers around it, but the shotgun is able to get anybody inside of the sanctuary. And that's what that is. I am actually using the Audio Technica mic. Let me show you the exact one that I got. And it's right there. This is the mic that I am using, and it actually dropped in price. But this is what I got. This sitting on the top of the balcony, just aiming down. What I would like to do is actually have two of them, because in Bible study, everybody was stretched out. So it made it kind of difficult to get everybody. But me playing the video is not a good representation of it. When I do the video, drop that. But that's a simple fix to actually engage. Now, be mindful. You do not want to have that crowd mic going into your mix, because it's going to be a feedback loop and it's just going to be crazy. You want this just to get the audience's sounds and reactions to make it hear like it just gives more filler, some more to your live stream. So be on the lookout for that video. Hopefully that helps you there, Streets of Destiny. That's really all it was. I just have a mic coming in. I have a separate mix, and the mic is only being fed into that mix. It's not in the house, because I actually did that by mistake, and then it throws feedback because it's capturing everything it's hearing and looping it back in itself. That's why you don't want to do that. So hopefully that helps for those, and be on the lookout for that video. So hopefully I got enough buffer time in here. So let's see, we got some questions here. I see Rodney's, but I think it was somebody before that. Nope, it was Rodney's. So let's see. Back to Rodney here. Good morning. Question: building a system for streaming and editing DaVinci Resolve. What is your question, sir? Are you looking for specs, type of processors? Well, oh, there's the second part of the question. Building a system for streaming, OBS, and editing DaVinci Resolve. Graphic cards choices are the NVIDIA 1660, the 3050, advantages and disadvantages. The 3050 is newer. The 1660, I mean, in spec wise, I think the 3050 is a little bit more, but I think it's more CUDA cores or cores and processing units on the 1660. I mean, honestly, OBS and DaVinci Resolve will crush on either one of them. Honestly, for a long time, I was using the 1660 on my streaming system, and that worked perfectly fine. I now have a 3050 in this system back here. Is it a 3050? But that was just like a dummy system that I have just for testing stuff. But I think either one of those would work. If I had a choice, I need to see them side by side. Well, actually, let's go to an old website that I have not gone to in quite a while. It is a GPU user benchmark website. And what we're going to do is we're going to look up the 1660 versus the 3050. So surprisingly the same, close to the same price, but we look from a specs. Lighting is a little bit better. Reflections are better on here, but again, it's not for gaming. We're looking at the actual tech behind it. And this one, I thought this site used to give more of a breakdown of the actual components in the chip. So this isn't, let's do this again. GTX 1660 versus the RTX 3050. Yeah, it's the same link. Was it versus? I needed something that would give me specs. Actually, it's saying this is actually cheaper. Is better than the NVIDIA. Oh, that's a laptop. That's not a good comparison. Honestly, I think the 1660 has more, have more components for processing inside of it, like CUDA cores mainly. That's what DaVinci Resolve is going to use. OBS, it ain't going to matter. No matter what you throw at it, unless you're doing something crazy, both of those graphics cards would be more than enough for OBS. So if I had a choice, personally, I would go with the 1660. But if it's in the same price, the 3050 will work well for you as well too. So hopefully that helps y'all. Let's see, what's my next question here? Francisco. I knew I saw a question. It was Francisco's. AJ, do you have any macros for the ATEM Mini Pro? If so, can you send them to me? I am in the process of learning and writing my own macro. No, I have not made one in a long time. I think the first macro I ever made, and it's still there, was at Antioch, when I just had it cycling through the cameras every 60 seconds just as a test stream when I was testing that stuff. I haven't used that in quite a while. I need to get down and actually do one, because my main, another video that I have working that didn't come out the way I wanted to, but I'm gonna re-record it, was called The Anatomy of a Church Live Stream, where it breaks down everything. So with that being said, what I want to do is, we talk about having a countdown that leads people in and engages as many senses as possible. You got a countdown timer, you got music, whatever. But for me, I don't want that music coming into the sanctuary. So going back to what you're saying, what I want to do is have a macro that I'm playing audio through mic number 2 on the ATEM that is music that everybody on the live stream hears, but nobody in the sanctuary hears. But I want a macro that when we switch to our live camera, it will switch from that mic. It will turn that mic off and turn mic 1 on, which is the house. So I'm in the process of trying to do something like that too. So I will let you know, and when I get something, I will help you out. But honestly, the macros are really the way I use them. I don't write them from scratch. You can. I just go through the tool and actually just record them manually. So like if I come over here, let's go back here into the software. What you would do for your macros is you would come in here and just actually just record it. So there's the camera cycle one that I still had. And I would just come in here and make one. I say test. And then it's just going to record my actions. Now, I don't want to do it right now because that's what I'm using for what y'all would see. But I would come in here, you put pauses in, you do the adjustments to each camera, and it will record, and you just play. And if you're using a Stream Deck with the companion app, you can call those macros up. Or if you have like the ATEM Mini Extreme, it has a macros button there. But let me know if y'all want to do something like that, and I will do a deep dive on that and try and do as much as possible to try and help you out. Amy, sorry I missed you there. How much a PTZ Optics 30x camera could cover? I have a 55 by 55 foot space, and I need to cover it all the way through tight shot on the subject. 30x is more than enough. The depth of Antioch is around 65, and I have a 20x, and it can cover that whole thing. So a 30x is overkill. it will be more than enough for that. And if y'all see me looking down, I remember I was telling y'all I got a bigger screen, so now I can see right here in front of me now. And I don't know. Yeah, maybe y'all can see it from here. So this is a mobile screen that I have here so that I can see. That's why I'm looking down here. It makes it easier because I kept having a NDI screen so I can read the text because it was too small on the screen. Let's see. You know who I am. How do I get my picture quality on YouTube higher than 1080p 60? Well, what are you coming from? Are you going from the ATEM? Are you going from OBS? Because if it's OBS, let me open that up. Even though most people won't do it, but you can. So like if we come over here into OBS and look at it, that number is actually not correct. It's actually higher than that a little bit, but we almost there, folks. But inside of here, you would go to settings, go to video, and then you would change your settings here. And you could go higher. Right now it's pulling off my monitor, but it would mainly be your output. So even though they have these presets, you can type in the numbers, the aspect ratio of 4K or 8K if you want to go to YouTube. But just realize, I mean, that's going to take more horsepower. Now for me, I don't do it that much right now on these streams. I used to with the web presenter that can convert everything I'm sending to 4K. The only reason I don't do it as much is because Comcast upload speed has been so inconsistent. That's the reason why I stopped. So that's why I'm doing 1080p 60 right now. But you just need to have vMix can do it, OBS can do it. You just have to manually type. Well, vMix can do it if you pay for it. OBS can do it, but you have to type in the resolution of what you want it to go to. So hopefully that answers your question. And I closed OBS knowing I should have kept it open. Francisco says his daughter loves to wake up every day at 4 a.m. Back to Pastor Gary. He is at Abundant Life Church of Christ here in Richmond that I've done the install for. And they had a system that was running ProPresenter 6 that honestly, it just couldn't keep up. And then ProPresenter 6, I think they're sunsetting that anyway. So we built them a Ryzen 5 5600G, and then we got them a new system, and it is just blazing, handling ProPresenter 7 like crazy. So thank you. Yes, working great. Lady T is having a ball with it. That's great. Norm, there are YouTube videos that show zoom examples of 20x and 30x PTZs at different distances. Awesome. Thank you for sharing. And Negril 7 Day Adventist says, yes, we are in Negril. Ooh-wee. I need to go. I'm looking at going somewhere. And I think I was mentioning anybody who is, I actually stepped out on faith, and this is like, I like to be transparent with y'all. So when I was learning all this YouTube stuff, obviously I don't know everything. I tell y'all that the same way. I try and pass on whatever I know and to everybody else. But just like even with me, I need to get around other people that know what I don't know. So for me, I remember getting started. I bought a class from Sean Cannell. Just forever grateful for that knowledge that was done. That was the biggest investment I ever did for my YouTube channel, and that was $1,000. The first time I ever made $1,000, no, actually I saved up the money from when I was getting like maybe $200 here, $200 there from YouTube. I saved it up and I bought that class. That was the biggest investment that I've ever put into my channel. And the knowledge that I learned from that, from understanding the principles of YouTube and how to do this and tags and all this other stuff like that, which I've modified to help y'all from a church standpoint, has greatly enhanced from a monetary standpoint, from a reach, influence, being able to just reach more people with my videos. So that's what I've learned now. So in September, they're doing Vid Summit. That is out in Los Angeles. There is nothing but content creators. So that's where we're going to be the last week of September. Just because, just like I always tell y'all, I practice the same thing I tell y'all about getting around other people to stretch that have greater influence, have more skills, have more knowledge than you know, because that's how you learn. Old adage, how do you become a millionaire? Hang around millionaires. You know, you want to have a good marriage, hang around people with good marriages, and you'll learn that stuff. So just telling you, that's what we got going on. So if anybody's doing any type of content and stuff like that, and you happen to be out there, hey, I'll be there too. Pastor Gary was saying, yeah, we want to do an audience mic for congressional responses. Yeah, I mean, I was learning and playing around with it dynamically, but it gave a better sense of when Pastor Taylor was doing a response and talking with people in Bible study. So, you know, that's more of playing around, but it's a good start. And that was, I mean, in y'all setup, it was the exact same thing. Y'all have a two S16s in the front. I would put maybe one of those shotgun mics right in front of the stage, away from the speakers, or maybe behind the speakers or to the side so they're not near the speakers. Yeah, on the sides of the stages, angled in at maybe 30 to 45 degrees. And then, you know, somebody in the board would have to adjust that and monitor the live stream and up and down on how much needs to be a response for that. That way you can avoid people having to touch a mic and all this other stuff. So it's very, very easy to do. And it was something I've been wanting to do for a while, but I'm glad it was able to work out. Norm was saying we'll be buying the AJay Mini Pro ISO. They are discounted prices right now. Yeah, I think they, I know they dropped the Mini Pro by 100, and I think, what's the discount on that now? I haven't looked at it. Pastor Gary, yes, you can, but I think the idea with the shotgun is, because I think choir mics normally will cover just a wide area right in front. It's not directional. So if you have somebody really far back, a shotgun will be able to compensate for that. So the shotgun is listening for targets right in front of it and not to the left and right. That gives you some more directional control. I mean, you can try. I mean, that's what these mics were. These are instrument mics, or it could be used as choir mics, like hanging from the ceiling. This is what I bought originally, thinking that these would work, but I had to change the gain so much to pick up people that were far away. That's why I just went with a shotgun. That's really meant. Now, the shotguns I've used is when I was in a booth at a football game and I was able to get everybody on the field with a shotgun and cover that distance. So, and that's way more than what was on a football, in a church. So that's why I kind of stick with those. And that for $140 right now, I mean, that's a deal. Reverend Richard, crowd mic is vital for online worship. Call and response is big, but with it, we had echo whenever we play audio over the house sound. Guess we need a separate mix. Yeah, what I do is I only bring it up very, very lightly when we're having like praise and worship and stuff like that. Is very, very low. The only time I would crank it up is when somebody is specifically talking. And then you have to be mindful of that feedback. That's where this is not a set it and forget it. This is somebody in ears listening to what that mix is and dynamically changing it on the fly. Norm here, we are at about 50 feet and we'll be getting a 20X. Yeah, that would be more than enough. So, Pastor, are you saying for that's for record only? Are you saying that's for are you asking about the audience mics? Is that what it is? Wait a minute. I have a comment. I was saying, okay, not in the house. Yes, that audience mic is not for in-house. Unless, now, if you're trying to have, like in our scenario, when we were doing it for Bible study, they were talking loud enough for everybody in the sanctuary to hear. It just wasn't loud enough for the live stream to hear. So if you wanted to do something to where somebody is talking and you want everybody in the house to hear it and as well, I would still do a shotgun mic, but I would put that like in the middle aisle or something like that. Just like traditionally it used to be, somebody would hold out a mic so that or they would hand the mic so somebody could talk into it. But instead, you can just put a shotgun mic and they just stand in a certain area and then they don't have to touch, and then you can loop that into the house as well. I think that would be two secondary ones. One would be, like in my scenario, we had a small sanctuary, so that one shotgun works for them. If you have a bigger sanctuary, kind of like y'all's, and you want to have just crowd response, those mics, or even Shure SM57s will work in that type of mic, because you're just getting ambient sound. If you want directional of one person directly talking, that you want to be heard in-house and the live stream, I would think maybe a separate one dedicated for that purpose, which could be looped into the house. I think that would work as well. John, I mic'd an orchestra once with some super sensitive condenser mics that they had bought $6,900 each, and had the sound on the mains turned off. I had a fart and pushed the main button and had the most terrible screaming feedback loop on our church has ever encountered. Yeah, that's what you would get. And that's what I did before our service started, when I didn't realize that. Because I didn't realize with the X32, you need to have the channel unmuted on main, just even if you want it to go. So in the mains, if I cut back over here, so right here, my mains, it's down, but it's unmuted. But, you want it, for whatever reason, I figured this out, the X32, unless it's something that I'm missing. So if y'all know that, please let me know. I have to have this unmuted, but there's no volume at all going to the mains, but in the live stream, I have the channel up. So like right now, if I turn this on, and I have no way to hear this right now because of my new setup here. Actually, yes, I do. I'll put my headphones in for a second. Now I'm going to unmute this. Well, actually, it already is unmuted. I'm going to turn this up, and let's see what it sounds like. Testing. All right, so this, and I'm going to mute my mains. So at this point, everything is coming from here. So obviously, that's not enough for this. Let me turn the gain up just a little bit. All right, can you hear me? See, this wouldn't work well in my scenario, because I don't dare want to turn all this up. But now if you want to hear the fan, there you go. So now you have the ambient noise of the fan that I have on under here. But I think that's why a shotgun will work good for this scenario. Because again, it's meant for long distance shots and stuff like that. And again, at 140, I don't think that's a lot. Or you can even do like one of these. The only reason I don't like this is this is battery powered. So you would always have to change a battery for this. But this is the exact shotgun mic that I was using for football games, and it would cover that distance as well. So I'm definitely going to have to re-record that video, because it seems like that's of interest to a lot of folks. I mean, I had a project like that. I get the audience sound. We integrated mics, 4 lavalier mics from the ceiling, and hitting in the podium, lighting over. Hey, everything works. That's good. I want to try that too. Rodney, you are welcome. Back to John. When mic in the audience, do you ever find you are picking up sound you don't want, like people talking during sermons and services? That's where mainly because I'm actively monitoring it. So, I mean, I have it very, very, very low just during a typical service, just to hear just something that you can't hear, but it's not like they're in a professional studio where you're only hearing that mic. I just have a little ambience in there. I don't have it cranked up to the point where you're hearing somebody doing something silly. Now, that used to be when we used to have mics in the back, and it's catching everybody before it gets to the main subject. Then that's when you start hearing a whole bunch of people and stuff like that. Pat, hey AJ, I'm getting double audio. We use Zoom to stream before actual service. Then we open up OBS for the whole service. When I listen to the playback, I hear double audio. What can that be? Most likely, with that, you have your audio coming in through double channels. So if we cut back over here, remember I told you I said maybe I shouldn't have closed OBS? So inside of here, check this. When you go to your audio, I like to have everything disabled, because if I had, and I don't want to do it right now, I'll do it right now. It would give me double audio. So I'm going to keep this on, and we're going to have an infinite loop here in a second, because I'm going to turn the ATEM on. So if I was playing through here, you're getting the audio from whatever you're being captured, but then the desktop audio is playing it again. Make sure on your channels you don't have that. That would be the cause of your double audio. I had the same thing on when I had vMix. I had to turn off the loop out because I was using my X32 as my soundboard. So when it was playing audio from the computer onto tracks 7 and 8, it was also playing itself, and it was just looping again. So that's just something in OBS. That's what you need to look for. I like to always disable the audio under the settings, because that's a universal that goes on any channel that you need. I like to isolate in each scene that I have. I only bring in audio that I want. Check that. I think that's where your double audio is coming from. You know who I am. We had a power outage. So did we. Power was out yesterday up until 10 o'clock. And I was out in the parking lot in my car. So anyway, so we had a power outage that unfortunately knocked out our main internet. Could you recommend a 4G, 6G SIM router that I could possibly use for internet backup? Well, before I answer that, guys, I think I was telling y'all, my mom's Starlink is actually going to be here tomorrow. Well, at her house tomorrow. So maybe next week, if I have time, I'm going to come down there and install it. See the difference between the internet, but then of course, I'm gonna bring my equipment. Can you live stream on it? Because that is what I've been recommending to a lot of ministries, and that's put up or shut up time, because I've been recommending it. And if you can't do it, I'm gonna take that back and be like, don't use it. But I think it's gonna work. So we're looking for a SIM router, and the first thing I thought about was this Netgear one. That's what I had on the top of my mind. I personally have not used this, and that's really expensive now that I'm seeing it. There was another one that was less than that. Yeah, that's a new, super new one. Man, what was it? Now, it all depends. How is your internet? Because, I've used ones like this where it connects to my cell phone as a backup. But again, I used it to where that was the one I was looking for, the Nighthawk. But these didn't used to be this expensive. Huh. This one is great, but I don't know why they've shot it. It must be hard to get or something. Because I know the S16s go for $700, and they're selling on Amazon for $1,700. But I've heard nothing but good things about the Netgear Nighthawks. I was looking at getting one, but for my purposes, I didn't need one. I have a Skyroam. That's what I use, but the Skyroam is not fast enough for live streaming. That's what I have. One of these. This is what I take with me when I just need connections and stuff like that. I still got it. And this is, you just buy it, and then it's unlimited global internet wherever you're at, I think for $7 a day. But again, it was fast enough for me to connect, but it wasn't really fast enough for uploading and stuff like that. But maybe that was the places I was trying. I mean, I was doing that in Germany. I mean, not Germany. Yeah, Germany, Ireland, and then the Bahamas. But I like this because you just bought it, and then the plans are, you could just, they moved it up to $8. So it's $8 a day, and it's you prepay. So it's $8 for 24 hours. Oh, they did move it up. It's $9 for global internet in 130 countries. But again, when I tested this, maybe about 5 years ago, it didn't sustain live streaming. Using regular internet like before, like when we'll go driving or something like that, and I have my daughter in the car, I would put this on before I had cell phone plans had free hotspot stuff. I would put that in the car, and then she'll be able to browse and do like that, or anybody in the car, and that worked for that. I don't think it's good enough for that, but you never know. I mean, it's kind of cheap. You just buy it and then you just have it. So, Monty and Francisco, man, I remember those days. My daughter loves 3 a.m. wake ups. Man, Ayana used to be like that. Thankfully, she's going on 8, so I don't have to worry about that no more. Robert, have you ever used the Xbox controller to control the PTZ? How was your experience? Yes, I have. It is okay. There is no pressure sensitivity. It's zip, zip. There's no, let me move it slow. There is no control like that with the Xbox controller, unfortunately. But yes, I have done that. Back to Monty. I may try to fit Vid Summit into my schedule this year. One of those conferences I always wanted to attend. Same here. So I missed Sean Cannell's one. I was out of town when he had his Grow with Video. So I was like, man, I need to try something. Alistair. Hi, I'm trying to power on and off my sound system with the push of one button. Hopefully mics and rack mixer on stage, and then front of house mixer with all other components. Do you have a setup tutorial? Yes, I do. I have that at pretty much the last couple of churches I do, as well as Antioch, and even here I have can you see it? You can barely see it. Where's it at? So right there is my smart plug, and I have 2 of them under my desk and everything. And they're TP-Link Casa smart plugs. They have smart plugs that go in the wall, switches, ones that plug into an outlet, power strips, lights. That's what you're seeing behind me, all of that stuff. So like right now, if I turn this off, all of that is being controlled with all my lights and stuff like that. And that's how I have it at Signs and Wonders. When I can open this up, and I don't have, do I have my, oh yeah, I got a new phone that doesn't have HDMI out. But this is the Casa app. I don't know if you can actually see it. Nah, you can't. It's too much white. But like right there, let me get this in focus. AJ, why don't we just use the ATEM to get it in focus instead of you trying to do it? That would be great. All right, so like right here, this is how I have stuff set up right now. So if I go in and I want to turn on Signs and Wonders, they're right there at the bottom. I hit audio right there, and I don't want to do it right now while I move my finger. Right there, that would turn the audio on. And then the one all the way at the bottom, that's for video. All of that is driven by the Casa app. Let me get in focus again. And you can get all that stuff from Target or Amazon, Best Buy, anywhere. And it is very, very, very simple. The main reason I did that is because somebody left our stuff on at Antioch, left it on overnight, and it just kind of fried. So I did this mainly because there's a sweep that can turn everything off. I recently did this at Guilfield because their speakers were on the wall, and originally they had it wired that a switch would turn it off, but they didn't wire it that way with the renovation. So we put these little $10 smart plugs that just allowed to turn the speakers on and off instead of somebody getting up in the ladder. Really, really simple. I think that whole setup at Signs and Wonders is 1, 2, 3, 4. It costs maybe right at $110 for all the parts to be able to control everything remotely and turn everything on like that. So hopefully that helps. I will put a link down below to all that stuff. And actually, let's just look it up. TP-Link Casa. All right, so what we got here is there's a dimmer switch. We're not using it. Actually, that's a motion switch. But you got these light switches. I did a video on how I, rigged that to be ran off of a plug so you can move it anywhere. But see, I got 4 of these for like $24. It was a deal for all of those. Then I have the light strip in there. Yeah, that's the one that I got. It was 4 of them, and it was this. And then I had these power strips. When I bought mine, they were $79, but there's the original price. But I got 2 of them under my desk right now. I got 2 of them at Antioch, and then I have a smaller one right on the table, another one at Antioch, and then at Signs and Wonders, I have 2 of these. So again, and that's $24. I almost want to buy another one. But anyway, that's what I used to do all this other stuff. And why is this mic was at 140? Why is mine saying it's at 169? Oh, because it was renewed. Ew. So regular price is 170. Anyway, hopefully that helps you. Daniel wants to know, do you have a business company? Yes, I do. I have an LLC that has been in business as of last month on the 26th. I've been in business working for myself for 6 years. So thank God. I'm very thankful that we broke that 5-year mark, because most businesses do not last after 5 years. So yes, I do. That's one. But my main business runs multiple. So my YouTube channel is registered under my business for filing and tax purposes. Formation Sports is a branch of my main company that just handles one aspect of stuff. And we're getting into some other stuff as well too. I also do stuff on Fiverr that I have a subscriber, Augustin, working with me. He's a contractor for me doing stuff there. So yes. And I don't forget, there was a video. I asked everybody if somebody wanted me to do a breakdown of, typically you see on YouTube, oh, how much did I make at 50,000 subscribers, 100,000 subscribers? I don't want to do something like that. What I want to do is actually, and I kind of didn't want to do this on this channel, because I want everything on this channel to be media ministry related, but a lot of y'all said y'all were interested in me doing that. So what I want to do is do a deep dive of what it takes, what I do behind the scenes of, hey, when I'm running my business, when I'm running other people that's doing my business, YouTube and all this other stuff that branches off, what do I do? The gustos that I use to pay my employees and contractors, a bench that's handling my taxes and my filings, what bank accounts that I'm using that are free, and the monthly stuff and the services that I use to run everything. I'm gonna put a video like that together. It's gonna take me a while to put that, but I'm gonna do something like that because a lot of y'all asked about it. Lanny, Mixer doesn't have aux out. Can I use an audio interface and an audience mic to record sound from the house for recording in OBS? Yes, you can. In OBS, and I actually had this in the video that I haven't released yet. If you didn't have a mixer that could do that, OBS can have multiple inputs. You would do the exact same functionality that I just showed in the mixer, but you would do it in OBS as another mic input that you just got to control how loud, how much comes in, and you can feed that in. And because you're going to have that mixer setting, and you can just change the level so that it's not dominating. Like the mistake I made last week when I was announcing the cruise, the music was way too loud and I was over top of that. And speaking of that, let me actually mention that. Where's it at? Is it here? Oh yeah. Don't forget, folks, that we have a e-missionary cruise that we're putting together that is April 24th to the 28th. I know everybody can't get there, but just to let you know, we set it up. All the information is on the Facebook group. It is not just limited to the e-missionary group. We have to have 8 rooms booked in 30 days. In the first 30 days, anybody that books that gets a $50 credit for their room and all this other fun stuff like that. So that is very, very exciting. It's just meant for a time for us to relax and stuff like that. As of right now, I think we have 6 rooms booked. We have 30 rooms reserved. So it's a first come, first served basis. I mean, if we reach the limit, I think they're going to open it up to give us some more. Because, I mean, it's not like we at the point where we reserve the entire ship. But, hey, check that out. I ain't going to have meetings and all this other stuff. It's going to be like, if you see me, I'm going to be like, how you doing? Are we going to teach anything? No, we're here to relax. So I put that together. And again, for those who are not able to get there, I just want to see how this goes, because I'd love to actually do other stuff like this in different parts of the United States, as well as in other countries, so that people can, you know, it's just meant to, I can't put together at least not yet, not put together a National Media Ministry Appreciation Day, but this is just something that I'd like to do that, hey, at least you're going to be around some like-minded people and just be able to relax. And instead of us just talking on Facebook and YouTube, we actually get a chance to meet each other face to face and maybe get some dinner or ride the zip line. Especially, just let y'all know, I only do Royal Caribbean. Unless we go over somewhere in Europe and that's not available, and we'll figure something out. But all the information for that is on the Facebook group. You don't want to miss it, folks, because especially me at karaoke, we have a blast. So we're looking forward to that. Ethan, I've been trying to figure out the X32 edit mute issues too. Yeah, so good thing is that is one thing. So as long as you have the levels down, I guess that's what has to be worked on right now. Also, I figured out that you can actually route the audio from a computer that's connected to the X32 over USB. You can route that audio in. And it kind of messed up on me for a second. So like I actually still have it up. So let me see if I can show this real quick. So right now you see this is the PC coming in. That's why it's mimicking. It's playing the audio here. And how that works is I have a USB plugged in. In here, we have, well, actually, I'm using a user input. So this is where I can select every single jack to be something different, whether it's, because originally, and I learned this from Otis, you used to do blocks of 8, 1 through 8, 9 through 16. And if you weren't using it, they're just dead. They're taking up space. But with the latest 4.06, it allows you to do a user interface where you can do one off. So right now on the mixer, 1 through 6 are physical connections to the X32, but 7 and 8 are coming from card input 7 and 8, which is what I have on my computer to send audio out to. So now I can bring in the audio here. So like now this is going to get real annoying. I'm going to mute myself, but then I'm going to play the audio that's coming from the computer. So now it was looping back on itself. So maybe that wasn't the best of processes to try and test. But that at a lower volume, if you don't have that audience mic set right and you have it looped, you would get something like that. But anyway, like if I was playing audio, I can now have these on a channel directly in the board. So USB, I can send audio in, but I can also send it out as well too. So lots of fun stuff with the X32 that you can play around with. Anthony, no, actually, I'm just using the app because I have the rack-mounted version of the X32, so it's not an actual board for me to adjust. It's actually, I don't know if you can see it in any of my shots. Let me move this over here. It is right there. That's the X32 that I'm using right there. So it does have buttons on the front, but it is tedious to try and use it that way. So I'm just using the software interface to get to that. I can use an iPad to do the same thing, either one. And this is the same board that we installed at Zion Chester AME, and then we're going to install a similar board as well at Union Branch. That's actually next week when we get back. That's the install that we're working on. All right, Damien, on the X32, you can unassign that channel's output from the main output. Can you unassign the channel's output from the main output? That's what we do with our Persona system to prevent those types of mistakes with feedback. I don't know. I'm sure you could do a user output. I haven't played around with it enough to say yay or nay. But thanks, that gives me a direction to look to see. Back to Pat. So I can use Zoom and there's no sound picking up from the Zoom being open. So I can use the Zoom and there's no sound picking up from the Zoom being open. I'm not understanding that, but if you're saying a loop back, because the idea is your audio is fine. I just think in OBS, maybe you have that master overall audio and it's just capturing it twice. That's defaultly how I've always seen it if you have doubled audio. If it's not that, then we have to dial that in a little bit to go a little bit deeper to figure out what that is. You know who I am. Is it possible to run 2 separate internets in one network switch? Why? So if one goes down, yes, you're talking about offloading. So like, let me see. Certain routers support that, like the Unify stuff that I do, that I use actually has something like that. I don't have it set up on mine, but let me see. Like, for example, I'll use Signs and Wonders as an example. So in here, I hope I don't put too much info on here. And why does it keep going into turning off dark mode? All right. So you could come in here and allow a failover. So I could do another network. And because I'm using this, I could set up another network for the LAN port. Or actually, my mom's probably, no. But anyway, the idea is exactly what you said. That's what a failover is for. So if one connection goes down, it would jump over to the other one. You could also do load bearing so that if you have 2 internet connections, it will evenly distribute the load across both connections. Now, the Unify one, they have a module that you can add. And I wanted to test it out, but I don't want to because I don't just want to be buying stuff for the sake of buying stuff. But where's it at? Need to find it. I'm on their store. It was yeah, there it goes. It is an LTE module. So the idea is if internet gets lost, it will fail over to this. So this would connect to your router as a failover. It just happens to be made by Unify that does the purpose of that. So if anything happens, it's connected into that line in, and then it just fails over. So you have one main internet coming in, then you have another one that comes in, and it will detect if there's no network access or whatever, it will fail over. You could do that with 2 internet connections if you had in. Like ideally, say that I'm at my house and I want to have everything separate. Say I have internet for me personally, but then I have internet for my business, and I have businesses running inside my house. So, and for tax purposes, it's easy for me to differentiate. This room is for business, and you do a percentage for taxes. I'm not a tax person, but that's how you would do it. So say I have my businesses running my internet, but I have my personal internet running in just in case that fails. If it failed, it will fail over to that if the connection is not done. That would be one of the reasons. Or load bearing. If you know a lot of traffic is going on and one internet offering is not enough, you get 2 and you can, double up, something like that. That would be a reason. Pastor Gary, back to the backups, he was saying he uses the Nighthawk as a backup and it works nice. So good endorsement. Back to John. This live stream is the highlight of my week. Been living in my basement and wife upstairs. I finally got COVID. Not bad at all for me, thank God. So I have been off work all week quarantine. Hey, well, we pray for your quick and speedy recovery. And yeah, I'm very thankful it's not as bad as it was. I mean, people are still getting heavily affected, but I'm glad. Just praying for your quick and fast recovery. There, John. In the back for backup internet, I'd recommend the Peep Gear BR1 Mini, but I think they only do 3G. Ours has been solid and it gives you a wired connection. Awesome. Thank you for that. Get some other options. And also, John, thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate that. Greater Christ Temple, Columbus, Ohio. Here. Having issues keeping the audio and video in sync within OBS when streaming, running 3 PTZ optics cameras over the network, running audio from an analog mixer into a Roland VR3EX, then USB into OBS CPU. Thanks. We did a video. I think this is my knee-jerk reaction to that. What are the specs of the system that are running OBS? If it's out of sync, it's either the system is not fast enough, or when you're saying you're running everything over your network, are you pulling video from over the network as an RTMP to where it's sending video over your Ethernet that's coming back there and OBS is looking for a network video? Or is it like a capture card? Which one? Let me know that, and then we can dive a little bit deeper. And I think Norm has a question here. Has anyone used the PoE from the Comcast business internet router to power PTZs? I can save $100 on my budget, very tight. There's one at Signs and Wonders. I just haven't done it because my stuff was set up before they got internet there. So I mean, if I get over there, I might test it. I don't know. Paul, watching from Malaysia, thank you for joining, and has a question. I have just posted desktop specs in the Facebook group. Will that be able to stream to Facebook? Mainly, those desktops will run OBS. So let me check and see your post. And wow, like literally just posted. All right, so let's cut over here so I can show y'all the specs he's got. So he has a HD graphics 4400. That means it's an Intel CPU that's in there. But he also has a GPU, a GeForce one. I'm wondering what that one is. All right, first off, no. If you're going off of just CPU, the i3 is not fast enough. Now, that all depends, though, on that second graphics card. So that's a 650. You may be able to, because we started with a 750. Maybe. That i3 is going to be your bottleneck, but if you put everything on that and maybe 1080p, 30 frames a second at... And again, I don't know your internet speed, upload speed, maybe at 2,000 to 2,500 kilobits per second, maybe. But again, I think the i3 is going to be the main issue. What say you folks? Anybody else? What do y'all think about that? Otis, man, we were just talking about you, man. Hey, I'm using my X32 to do all this right now. We were talking about a bunch of stuff. So Otis, my question to you, and people have asked, is there any way, like right now, I was talking about an audience mic. So right now, for me to use my audience mic, I have to have it unmuted on my mains, but in the live stream, that's what I have it turned up. Is there any way to get around that? To where, like, because if I mute this right now, then absolutely nothing is going to come here for some odd reason. And I've tested this multiple times, and it did not work. Just wondering, sir, if you have any solution to that or know a workaround about that. Would greatly appreciate that. John's like, thanks for setting up the cruise. Hey, you are welcome. Hey, I'm loving cruises. I was getting ready to take my daughter on one, but might not be able to do that for this time around. Probably wait for the stuff with COVID and people getting sick on ships to tide itself down. And I might have to go to Disney World. Ugh. Not that I'm not excited about taking my daughter to Disney World. It's like, man, it's like, and no, I'm not beating up on y'all when I say this, but y'all know what I'm talking about. It's like you're paying the Disney tax, just like the Apple tax. Like I can go on a 3-day cruise for $500 for me and my daughter, but for a Disney vacation for 3 days, it's like $2,800. And I'm just like, good Lord. Like, I don't like Goofy and Mickey that much. Lanny, what interface and mic would you suggest? Did you do a video on that? Well, for what? Is that for the interface? I mean, I've been going through a bunch, so I don't want to make sure I'm answering appropriately. What are you using the interface for? Is it for a crowd mic that we've been talking about, or something different? Let me know. Brian, what's going on? Back to a Greater Christ Temple. Cameras are running video in via RTMP into OBS. CPU is a Ryzen new built in 2020. Don't have the specs readily available. Okay. Now, well, the main thing, depending on which Ryzen you have, the CPU should not be the issue, unless, yeah, if it's getting out of sync, obviously something is going on. I'm wondering if it's your network and it's out of, not that the system is having an issue, because normally sending video over the network is going to be slower than having a direct connection. So you're going to have to put some type of delay so that they sync up. Now, the issue with that delay is not set in stone. It could change at any point in time. So somebody would have to be monitoring that the entire time. That's why personally, I don't like using it over the network like that, unless you were sending audio like to one camera over the network and it's already synced. Since you have 3, I believe, that's going to be a task to try and get that all synced up. But let me know. I think that's what it is. It's not the system. It might just be the fact that the video is being ran over the network, because that's what I had. That was the issue that happened in Spring Creek. They were having that same issue, and we just ran a direct connection, and that kind of solved that, because the latency kept changing, and we had to keep changing the delay. Back to Paul. Is it possible to set my audio input filters as a dock on the main page of OBS? How do I do that? The filters. I have not tried that, but let's see. Now, I don't know if there's a way to do that. That's media controls. That's the old video we did. I'm not sure. And you're saying the audio filters. I don't know. I don't think you can do that. I mean, at least I'm not aware of that. Unless you're using some other type of audio plugin. Natively, I don't know of a way to do that. So I'm going to give that out there to the community, folks. If y'all have any answers for that can help out Paul, I know he would greatly appreciate it. And folks, if you don't mind hitting that like button, I would greatly appreciate it. For whatever reason, YouTube is not pushing stuff out for anybody's stuff like it is. So the interaction is what helps get that out there so people can see. Because if you see, oh, this one video has 1 like, they're like, the computer algorithm is like, oh, it must not be that important. You put a bunch of likes on there, it starts promoting the video to other people. So I would greatly appreciate that. And also, I didn't say it, but if you ever wanted some other help, you can always hit me up at ajhomes.com/consultations and book a consultation. And somebody just booked a phone consultation next week, so I really appreciate that. And let me make sure. Yeah, they booked that. How did they book that on a Monday? Normally, I don't do appointments on Mondays because I'm recouping from church. But especially, this is going to be recouping from travel. No, why did that get declined? Oh man, I have a tax appointment and then it got declined. Why? Okay, I'm sorry. Somebody booked an appointment, and I think my first day of installing at Union Branch was not set as all day. That's how they were able to do that. So I need to fix that right now. And I'm not free. I'm busy all day. Okay, sorry about that. Had a little business technical difficulty right there. All right, Lanny, I'm trying to look back on your question. Oh, okay. So he was asking about doing that. I mean, honestly, any interface would work. like maybe the Behringer one or any of the Scarlett 2i2s. Any of those would work as well too. And I would still like that shotgun mic. I mean, you could, I think you may be able to get the SM57s for maybe less than that. But again, I like a shotgun mic for that need because it can just cover a wide area, and a deeper area. So if you got somebody sitting far in the back, you should be able to get them as well too. So the Scarlett 2i2 in that same Audio-Technica mic, and again, I'm gonna follow up and do a video on that as well too. Let me see. D. Charles, which PTZ camera brand do you recommend? Honestly, I've been doing most of my stuff with the Famacos just because they're readily available. And honestly, I like all of them. Mainly, I picked the Famacos because they have a bundle that comes with a bunch, and it just makes it easy to pack up everything together. And most of the time when I order Famaco, I can get it in one day. For whatever reason, maybe they're just stored here in Chester or close to the Amazon distribution center that's down the street from me, but I always get them things in like a day. That's why I stick with those. But all of them are great choices. You're not going to be missing if you got one over the other. Alrighty, you are welcome. Yeah, folks. I mean, like I have some exciting stuff going on this weekend, and I don't know. Be on the lookout, folks. I really want to put some more stuff together. From not just talking about just teaching and stuff like that. I really believe now that things are starting to subside a little bit, the whole goal of my channel as well as the Facebook group and stuff like that is to network with other people. I don't know everything. You don't know everything, but you do know something, and I do know something, and it's better for us to work together and share that knowledge with each other if we're all about the same purpose. That's what it's all about. And I want to, let me give you the long-term goal of this. The annual conferences, we're doing them online. They're always going to be online, but I want to have a physical component when it becomes safer. I'd love to have a conference that's one time every year that you send your people to, that you can come and meet. And the goal is to have enough influence to where we can bring businesses in, companies in, and we can persuade them on deals and other stuff like that to benefit the body of Christ from a ministry standpoint. Be able to have offerings to where you have a place that you can send your volunteers to be professionally trained on cameras, audio, video, editing, audio engineering, all that stuff. That's the goal of what we're going to do. But then also the vacation, that's not always going to be a cruise, but a vacation once a week to where it's a moment to just hang out with people, and we just, just hang together and just be able to just relax and talk and get to know each other and form bonds with other people from different denominations, different countries, different states, different locales, and just show that, hey, we talked about it before. The biggest trick that we've ever been tricked in is to waste our energy fighting amongst each other. We have more strength working together. And I just want to put something together to where it's like, there's no pressure. It's like, it ain't going to be, hey, you got to be in this conference room at this point in time. And no. It's like, hey, people that you've seen online, you're actually able to put a face to the name, and you just never know how many connections you might have and likes that you have with other people because of that. And that's ultimately the goal, with the long-term vision of the maybe every 5 years, every 6 years, every 7 years, whatever, that the conference and the vacation merges to where it's a week-long something, and you can come there for a vacation, and hey, we're going to have 2 days of training, and the rest of the days you just relax. That's the goal, long-term goal. But be on the lookout for all that information, folks. Reverend Richard was saying, I know the price of Disney, but how much is a cruise? Only $500. Well, I mean, it depends. Like, I was looking at a 2-day cruise for just me and my daughter that went to one place, their private island, and came right back. And that was going for an interior room. That was $250 a person. I personally don't do interior rooms, I always do an ocean view or a balcony or something like that, so I can always see the water and stuff like that. But that's what it was going for, and pretty straightforward. Mr. Clarence, do you know of a shotgun mic that puts out line level for direct input in the PTZ camera? Those Rode mics do that, I believe. There's a setting on the back that can do that. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it. That knob right there will do it at line. And that's the Rode video mic. Can do that. And then it has a 3.5 millimeter so it can plug directly in. Mr. Jones, great idea. My pastor keeps asking if there's a conference for this, so I would keep my eyes open when something comes around. Yeah, be on the lookout for it, folks. Otis was saying, I'm missing part of your question about the X32. I was receiving a call. No problem. So, Otis, what we have is we set up, I had this as a demo, but I set up a shotgun mic at Signs and Wonders for audience mic, and I don't have it coming into the house. I have it going into my separate mix for the live stream. So this is what it is. But for whatever reason, when I had this muted on the mains, nothing was coming through on the mix, and didn't know if there was the issue. Like when I unmuted it here, then this worked. So I'm wondering, yeah, we were just wondering about that. That was a part of the question. But we can circle back as well too. So one thing I would say, I'm probably going to end this short because I got a lot of stuff. I got to get my daughter's clothes packed and all this other stuff, and I need to go get my glasses fixed. One of these nose guards fell off here. But be on the lookout. I want to do another interest meeting for organization for the conference. I'm going to try and not do it on a Sunday, do it like on a Saturday, because I know a lot of people after service, and even though people have services on Saturday, I might want to do it like on a different day, maybe in the week, in the evening or something like that, an interest meeting, but also give different time frames for people that are in different time zones that want to participate. The idea is we're going to have just a long stream that's going to be produced, and we would have people at certain times that would teach. If you're not able to physically be there, you can always pre-record it and we can play that video there. Or if you live, we would bring you in through vMix call, and then that's how we can control it. And that's what we're going to work on. But look out for the information. Please make sure you check out and join the Facebook group. That's where all that information is. Just go to Facebook, look up Modern Media Ministry Made Easy. You only got 3 questions to answer, and you are automatically added. Once you add those questions, do not live stream inside the group. Any people, I'll say this as nice as I possibly can in the meanest way I can say it. If you are a business and you trick your way into getting to that Facebook and you post some stupid ads trying to sell something, you will immediately be kicked out and banned from ever coming in there. That is not meant for you to use all these people who are coming together for one purpose, is try and sell your wares. You will immediately be kicked out for stuff like that. That is not the place for this. So I've already had to kick out some people and warn some people. It's not meant for that. It's not meant for that, folks. It's meant for us to help and share and grow so people can come and learn, not to spam people with your products, or listen to this, or spam us with your church service. I'm believing everybody in that group is saved, sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost. So I don't need you to share your service in there. We're trying to work to make our services better. So don't share your stuff in there unless we have a designated thread to talk about that. But anyway, that's enough of me blabbing. I was looking at this comment. Hey, Otis, I will follow back up with you, sir. I will look. That's the first, when Otis was saying, is it pre or post fade? I need to look at that. That was the first thing I was thinking when I was asking you the question. I need to look back at it because I'm not seeing the same thing here. So I need to play around with that. But thank you, sir. I will follow up with that. But more importantly, folks, thank you for everything that you're doing. All the hard work y'all been doing for 2+ years, and whether you just got started yesterday or you've been running this thing for 15+ years, thank you for all your work and all the dedication that you've done. I really appreciate it. I might not be at your local ministry, but guess what? Everything that you are doing is helping collectively the group, and that's what it's all about. If you do something that helps share the message with one more person, guess what? We won. It's not meant for me to reach one person and reach everyone. It's not meant for you to reach everyone. It's meant for all of us to reach everyone. It's a team effort, folks. Instead of wasting our time fighting amongst each other, let's work together and get this thing done. So you have yourself a great day, evening, afternoon, wherever you is all over the face of the planet. And we'll be talking to y'all later. Y'all have a great one, folks. Oh, and actually, I did fix this. Big shout out to my Patreon supporters and YouTube members. Thank you so much. They make videos like this possible. And if you like what we're doing, you can always go to patreon.com/AJaytheCEO and get started as being a patron for as little as $1 a month. Or you can click the join button down below here on YouTube, become a YouTube member. Anytime who's a member or Patreon, when we do giveaways, you are added twice as a giveaway, and we do other videos. Like I've released I did a class in Lynchburg that's available to Patreon supporters and YouTube members. All the Zoom calls we do are access to them, and we're doing some more stuff to try and just show you that we appreciate and thank you so much for your continued support. So I think that's about it. Now, I don't know, I'm laughing, but anyway, thank y'all so much for spending some time with me here on Friday, folks. We're going to be heading out to Pennsylvania Spotlight Deliverance Temple. Be on the lookout for a video. That's probably not going to happen until Monday when I get back for that. But anyway, y'all have a great one, folks, and we'll be talking to y'all later.